Hey everybody, welcome to my kitchen. I received an email from Catherine in California, and she is changing her life. She is becoming more healthful. She wants to eat better, exercise, she really wants to change her life for the better. So, what I'm going to do, because she loves seafood, is I'm going to show her and you how to prepare a super easy, delicious salmon dish that is it's just really super good. It's healthful, it's colorful, and really, really flavorful. So grab a glass of wine, grab a beer, sit down, and hang out with me for a little while, and we'll cook. So welcome back to my kitchen, where I take traditional meals and kind of turn them upside down a little bit. I'm not a very traditional guy, and as we get to know one another, you get to know me, you'll find that out. But I always use fresh ingredients, both at home and in my kitchen at work, because that's important. Fresh is key. A lot of people get hung up on organic and things like that. That's great as long as you get the consistent product that you would with some of the other products that are out there. Anyway, so like I said earlier, what we're going to do is we are going to poach some salmon. We're going to roast some vegetables. We're going to make an herbed rice, and we're going to make a lemon beurre blanc that is going to be dynamite on the salmon. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to prepare our salmon. We're going to get that seasoned up, get some white wine on there, and get it ready to toss in the oven. But we're just going to let it set with the seasoning and the wine on it for a little while we work on the rice, which is the component of the meal that will take the longest. And of course, I'm going to show you how to do a few different cuts on some vegetables to kind of mix it up a little bit so that you've got depth and contrast with the cuts in the vegetables, so not everything looks the same. So let's get started. Alright, so what I've done is I've prepped our rice, 2 cups of cold water with 1 cup of rice. I've added some fresh herbs, a little dash of butter for flavor. I like butter. And so we'll put this on the fire, get it rolling, and it'll take about 20 minutes. And while this is cooking, we're going to go ahead and prep our salmon and then prep our vegetables. And by the time this is done, they'll be done, and we'll be ready to eat. Okay, so what I've got is this beautiful sockeye salmon. It's gorgeous. When I lived in Alaska, I could get this when I was a chef up there, fresh, caught that day for $9.95 a pound. I live in the Central Valley of California. It's not so readily available. But still, even frozen, it's still really, really good, providing you don't kill it. So what we're going to do, okay, is I'm going to take a little white wine, got a nice little Chardonnay here. Actually, it's a Juggo Chardonnay, and we're going to pour this over the fish liberally. You want some liquid in that pan, okay? A little bit for the sockeye, a little bit for me. All right. So now what I'm going to do now is I'm going to season it with a little garlic, salt, and pepper. And again, with this, because you want that flavor to get down into the fish, I'm going to be kind of liberal with that as well. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put this aside. We're going to let it set for a few minutes, and we're going to work on our roasted vegetables. And as I said earlier at the top of the show, I am going to show you a couple different cuts so that it's not boring. Who wants boring? So, red pepper, remember this from last episode. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut it, clean it, and julienne this pepper. That's one of the cuts that we're going to use today. So, quick, easy way to clean a pepper. Cut the ends off, give it a little slice down the middle, and then just run your knife along the pith. Boom, done. All cleaned and ready to go. And then, I should have a, like the professionals on Food Network have, a little bowl here, so that I can put all the stuff away. Someone needs to sharpen their knives. That'd be me. And it's super easy. It takes a little practice. You know, I tell some of the young cooks that work for me, practice, dear boy, practice. Or girl, I have a lot of female cooks, which is something that is relatively a new phenomenon in the kitchen, in the professional kitchen. There's a lot more female chefs, and they're badass. They've got mad skills, and I love having them. Most of my best cooks actually are the gals. I like to use all the pepper because we're gonna roast it along with the other vegetables. So toss this in the bowl. All right. Now, with the yellow squash, cut off the tips, okay, and give it a little slice down the middle. And we're going to use a bias cut. Remember I spoke about that last week? And with the roasted vegetables, because they can cook so easily and so quickly, I like to make them a little chunkier so that they hold up a little bit better. Okay. Now with the zucchini, we're going to do what's called a paisan cook cut. I've only had one beer. And all that is basically is turning it back and forth, like so. So you've got chunks. You don't want too big a chunks though. You want to be able to put this thing in your mouth and eat it. You don't have to struggle with it. We talked about that last episode with the broccoli. So as you can see here, right off the bat, we've got 3 different shapes. So that's going to add a really cool effect on the plate. Okay, so now our red onion. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to julienne it, because that's the quickest and easy way to do it. Cut the ends off. You're only going to need half of this. So what we'll do is we'll peel it, lay it on the board. When you're using the knife, tuck your fingers back. Put your thumb back behind your fingers. That way you avoid getting cut. I think we talked about that too as well when I was first starting out and I almost cut the tip of my finger off. Oh, I really need to sharpen my knives. So anyway, okay, we've got that done. So we'll toss that in there. And then for a little color, some texture, and just because it tastes good, got some sweet grape tomatoes. So we're going to throw a few of these in there. And then what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to toss in a little olive oil, some garlic, some salt and pepper, and some white wine. Mix it all up. And then I'm going to roast them. I'm going to throw them on a sheet pan, stick them in the oven for about 14-15 minutes. And they're just so good. They are so good. And I'll let my producer, co-creator, good friend Chris try these when we're done. He's also the camera operator. You have one of these small operations, you wear many hats. Right, Chris? Just say yes.
You bet.
He doesn't have a SAG card, so I don't have to pay him. All right, so our rice is almost done. It smells so good. It's so fragrant, as they would say, you know, in the culinary world. I'm an old school guy. I'm like, man, it just smells really good. So anyway, so that's working, almost ready. So now I've got my vegetables, and what I've done over here is I've cut them, I've seasoned them. There's some olive oil in here, but what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna kick it up a little bit. I love you, Emerald. I'm gonna throw in some white wine. I'm gonna toss it all together, throw it on a sheet pan, throw it in the oven for about 15 minutes, and the white wine adds a sweetness and just a whole different level, a different dimension of flavor to these vegetables. It's gonna be dynamite. All right, so I'm adding the wine. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use the best tools we have. I'm gonna give these a quick toss and a stir to get everything in there. Break it up, break up the onion, you know, kind of mix it all together. Get the wine in there, the olive oil, the seasoning. Oh man, it smells so good already. If you're lucky enough to be doing this with me, you know what I'm talking about. It smells really, really good. Those bright colors. All right, so now I'm going to transfer it over to the pan. Okay, so now I've dumped it in the pan, on the sheet pan. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up, spread it out, so that it cooks evenly. Oh man, look at those colors. And the smell, oh, it's delicious. You got the fragrance from the vegetables, plus all the seasoning, the wine. Dude, this is amazing. Okay, so now I'm going to pop this in the oven for about 15 minutes. And I'll pop the salmon in at the same time. And while those two are cooking, we'll make the beurre blanc. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the beurre blanc. And all beurre blanc is, it's a butter wine sauce. It has shallots, garlic, butter, white wine. I like to add a little bit of salt, and some cream. But what I'm going to do differently is I'm going to add a little fresh squeezed lemon in there to really enhance and bring out the flavor of the salmon. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the beurre blanc. A little bit of butter. All right, and I have over here, already prepped, some garlic that I minced and some shallots or shallots. So we're going to throw all that in there and turn on the fire, and we'll see if I can not do what I did last time. Oh, there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. So I'm going to sweat down the shallots and the garlic in the butter, and then I'm going to add a little white wine. And we'll let that get going. And I'm going to check on my salmon and my vegetables and see what's going on over there. Oh God, they're looking sexy. All right. So this is going to take a couple minutes to get going. And then we will add the cream. And then it's ready to go. We'll squeeze the lemon. And that's it. All right, so now I'm going to add a little bit of white wine. Now, when I got the email from Catherine, Catherine says, hey chef, you know what? I don't drink. I don't really like alcohol. And that's great, because what happens in the cooking process is the alcohol actually evaporates. So whenever you cook with spirits, the alcohol is going to leave. So you don't really have any, you know, you don't have to worry. If you're concerned about health reasons, or if there are other reasons that you stay away from alcohol, when you cook with it, that dissipates. So that should really not be a concern. And it really does add a lot of flavor. So in our next step in preparing the beurre blanc, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of cream. Oh yeah. Sexy. Very, very sexy. And we're going to let that reduce down a little bit. So I'm going to turn the heat back up because we've added some moisture. Okay. And then next what I'm going to do is add some fresh lemon. As I said earlier, it's really going to pair well with the salmon. And we all know that lemon and fish go together like peanut butter and jelly. So, got our lemon there. It's a great little tool that I bought. I bought it actually for making martinis and margaritas, but it works well for this too. You give this a stir, and you can tell that when the sauce is done by simply taking your ladle in, running your finger across, and if there's a trench, it's called nepping, then it's thick enough and your sauce is done. This isn't there yet, so we're gonna let this go a little bit longer. My rice is done, and it smells delicious. It looks sexy, all the herbs that are in there. And my vegetables are almost done, as is my salmon. Wow, that looks great. So in just a couple minutes, we're gonna be ready to plate this dish. And then we'll garnish it, and then we'll taste it. All right, so all the components of this meal are finished. Our vegetables, our salmon, our rice, our beurre blanc. My garnish is ready. Let's go ahead and plate this bad boy. Woo! Look at those. Here's our salmon. That is just beautiful. All right. So, what we're going to do first is we're going to put the starch on, which is the rice. Oh, it's so fragrant. It's just beautiful. Perfectly cooked. Put that in the center of the plate. Okay. Next, we'll take our salmon. We'll lay that across like that. It's already looking great. Then we'll take some veg. Move this over here a little bit. Look at all that color. Just gorgeous. Put this right here on the side. Okay. Next, our beurre blanc. I'm gonna grab a spoon out of here. Now, like last episode where I left the garlic and the shallots in the sauce, I'm gonna do the same here because I like that textural, that little crunch when you bite into it. So now we'll drape a little bit of the beurre blanc on our salmon. Okay. And got a little spot on the plate, we can't have that. And next, I'm going to garnish it with a little scallion and green onion. I would have used parsley, but I didn't have any. Or chives. Chives would be wonderful, but again, I didn't have any. Foresight's wonderful. So there you are. It's beautiful.